time keep dancing forever mean?
We were telling you about gigantic outdoor raves happening across the region.
Well, at least till I remember where I put my car.
Sometimes they ended in confrontations with the police.
Friday went down to the barn,
Deafening music in the small hours.
took some acid, took some ecstasy, and
too quiet to see party organisers who accused
never looked back.
of using new legislation to try to stamp out the cruise altogether.
This is acid, man.
Hundreds of young people are gathering for the latest craze, an acid house party in a disused warehouse.
Where do you think you're going to?
Some newspapers have called acid house music a sinister and evil cult which lures young people into drug taking. The message is certainly getting across.
Unless it's just the music that does it. All them lights flashing don't do you any good either, do it?
I presume they do frenzied dancing, that kind of thing.
Well, those that take it ought to be ashamed of themselves.
I mean, it's indescribable. So probably makes my job quite difficult. But it's just a feeling, man. It really is. It's that sensation down your back that you know that tomorrow doesn't exist, and the people around you that you've never met before, they're your family. No matter what you would do before this or what you're doing after this is the only thing that's real. And that's so bad thing. Because what really compares, you know, what is there that really carries the same weight of dancing to your feet and staring at the eyes into your eyes alone, and just forgetting everything else.
Miss White Cocaine. What's her name? Miss White Cocaine. What's her name? Miss White Cocaine. What's her name? Miss White Cocaine. What's her name?
You see, the problem with me making a film about that is, well, is it's never going to be that, is it? The nature of rave culture and the reason why we love it is because it's inherently experiential. You see, I could sit here for the next 20 minutes and give you a historical account of this movement. I could tell you about how, in the late 80s, a group of lads, including Danny Rampling and Paul Oakenfold, went out to Ibiza for a flash birthday rager and ended up stumbling upon a new drug craze.
And an entirely fresh party aesthetic that went along with it.
I could tell you how they decided to bring these back with them, just as house music, which originated from Chicago's gay and black scene, started gaining mainstream popularity. And how, in some ridiculous and almost cosmic fashion, these two seemingly unrelated events collided to create acid house. I could tell you about the mass exoduses these provoked, the late night drives to abandoned warehouses and empty fields where thousands would gather for illegal parties. And how this second summer of love and the music that was played there continues to inform the extended dance music scenes we listen to now, such as garage, techno, drum and bass. The list goes on. I mean, I could sit here and do this for the next 20 minutes, but I've given you near enough as much information as most feature-length documentaries have on the topic for the past 20 years, and I've done it in a minute and a half.
What I really want to explore over the next 20 minutes are the reasons why rave culture is so popular. I want to ask what it is about the culture and the music and the scene itself that attracts so many like-minded people. However, I'm not a social scientist or a historian, I'm a filmmaker, supposedly. Therefore, I don't intend to make sweeping or generalising statements about ravers or their cultural impact. Instead, I intend to engage with this research question through an unusual methodological approach, but one that I am uniquely qualified to use.
This, of course, being, well, me. You see, my intention with this research is to use myself as a personalised case study. I want to answer the questions of why rave culture is so popular by asking myself what it is I personally find interesting about the culture and the music and the scene itself, because at the moment I'm not sure I really know. Hello? I've got to be honest, mate. You sound kind of stupid. I'm sorry, what? Well, you do know. Well, I mean, I have some ideas, but it's not exactly... Oh, it's because it's fun. It's because it's... fun? Look, let's not pretend it's about anything else, all right? I mean, yeah, obviously it's fun, but some people find crochet fun, so I'm not sure that's exactly a relevant or elaborate enough answer. Hold on, I can give you relevant and elaborate enough, yeah? In actual fact, I can tell you exactly why we like raving.
Look, mate, before you came to uni, you were skinny. Well, skinnier.
Hey.
You had shit hair.
Oh.
And you didn't know who you were.
Brilliant.
And then you moved into your first year flat. And you met Harry and Elsie. And one day, they asked you that all-important question.
Rory, do you like drum and bass?
And that was it. You were a raver.
Jungle.
Status. Don't listen, got the rank, them know me hot like pepper. Give me tone, try your thing, we're going shut off a hand. Rebel sound specialized to killing. Jump and beat them and shot them, kill them one by one. Listen, cut the rank, on the microphone, stand boy, retreat.
You went out
surrender, retreat.
You opened your eyes to this new experience. You found a comedian and a group that you felt a part. And every time you went out and raved, you felt that community and that connection with everyone who was around you. You lost your sense of self. Whether it was house, disco, techno, or D&B. Whether your eyes were open or not. And you haven't turned back since.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. And contextually, that is pretty interesting, but it doesn't mean to say that that's the only thing that's significant about rave culture. There are other spiritual elements
that can be addressed is definitely important, but I'm not sure that what we're addressing really answers the question.
I'm also concerned. Jesus Christ, where did you come from? You see, it's simply not academic enough.
Christ, here we go.
I mean, there's no real theory, there's no real structure. It's more a stream of consciousness than anything, and even at that, it lacks real substance. You know what? I don't have a clue what anything you just said means. Yeah? Right, guys, look, this, whatever it is, it's not productive. So if we could all just take a step back and... Oh, well, yes, quite right. I mean, when you really break it down, it's all rather simple.
You see, it all comes down to a sociological phenomenon known as collective effervescence, a term originally coined by renowned sociologist Emil Durkheim.
It explains the specific and unique pleasure that is derived from being part of a large collective of like-minded people, such as a large gathering of football supporters at a game, or a collation of fans of a particular musical artist at one of their gigs. These collectives will share the same thought at the same time, and this collective action allows for the dissolution of the individual into the group. Durkheim describes how, in the midst of an assembly animated by a common passion, we become susceptible of acts and sentiments of which we are incapable when reduced to our own forces.
Well, this therefore explains the electric atmosphere of a football game, or the emotive passion present at a music gig, and of course the collective experience of a rave.
I mean, again, they're all valid points. I'm just not sure it's there yet, you know?
Well then, what is it you're trying to achieve here, mate? Is it a piece of self-expression, or is it a piece of academic work?
Can't it be both? Can't raving be both hedonistic pursuit of self-expression and also something worth academic investigation?
I mean, probably, but it'd be pretentious.
I believe we may well have crossed that bridge already a while back.
Look, the hedonism that you spoke about and the mindless ecstasy of it all doesn't have to be explained away by a sociological construct. And that works the other way around for you. They don't need to fight against each other. They affect each other. They work in tandem to create something that isn't fully explained by either, because the act of raving is more deeply emotive than the purely hedonistic, and less rigidly structured than a sociological concept. You see, unlike collective effervescence, raving is less bound by rules. It requires no singular like-minded aim, no team to root for, no band to obsess over. The act of raving is self-perpetuating in its creation of collective effervescence. All that is required is a want to rave, a want to dance. The action itself, the combination of people, the collective collaboration that is provoked by collective effervescence is what causes it in its initial instance. In this respect, I think it's important to look at the philosophical significance of jumping around a sweaty room whilst listening to loud music. But hear me out. In his book, The Birth of Tragedy, Nietzsche analyses the way in which we experience reality, and more specifically the way in which we experience art. He argues that there are two fundamental experiential drives in human beings, the Dionysian and the Apolline. He suggests that these distinct experiential categories are necessary to experience a fulfilling existence, and as such inform our human nature. The upper line comprises of our concern for form and the outline for the beautifully constructed idea, named after Apollo, the Greek god of poetry, prophecy, and dreams. The Dionysian, on the other hand, is concerned with a less strictly defined experiential concept. It describes our experience of revelry, of dance and music, of the intoxication of overwhelming experience. Nietzsche wrote of the Dionysian, now hearing the gospel of universal harmony, each person feels himself to be not simply united, reconciled, or merged with his neighbour, but quite literally one with him. Singing and dancing, man expresses his higher community. He has forgotten how to walk and talk and is on the brink of flying and dancing up and away into the air above. His gestures speak of enchantment. Man is no longer an artist, he has become a work of art. All nature's artistic power reveals itself here, amidst shivers of intoxication, to the highest, most blissful satisfaction of primordial unity. This supposed philosophical significance, I think, also holds the key to why I enjoy raving, the ultimate question this film is striving to answer. Because I understand that philosophically this action may be completely inconsequential to others. I also understand that most people aren't pretentious enough to consider the philosophical implications of the things that are important to them. They just do things because they enjoy them, and that's enough of a reason. But that's not quite how I'm wired, and in many ways, I needed to exercise this analysis. Philosophically, this experience of deep human connection that exists in raving has provided me with something that nothing else has. That I don't enjoy things in a completely engrossed and carefree way in the way the one in the bucket hat does. Nor do I have the capacity to construct a completely rationalised worldview through which to engage with enjoyment in the way the smart one does. I am a mess of desires and wants with different conflicting elements, barely strung together with any sense of coherency, as I understand that most people are. But unlike most people, I can't stay still long enough within one of these distinctions in order to find myself belonging anywhere in particular. I'm often left adrift between things, not quite fitting the mould required for one collective or another, therefore not being capable to engage in collective effervescence with its rules of like-mindedness. It's difficult to be like-minded with others when you struggle to remain like-minded with yourself. But despite these conflicts, these disparities of the self, I find that when raving, finally, I am free. I belong. Every single distinctive part of myself can lose themselves together and become part of this collective. The philosophical significance of the event leaves me completely engrossed. Every facet of the many parts of myself engaged without there needing to be a totalising sense of reason that all of me has to ascribe to. And therefore, what I've really gained from raving, and why I think I love it, is because it taught me how to belong within collectives of others, and within myself.
Checkmate. Yeah. So, what are we doing this evening? What are we doing this evening? I mean, I don't know, I've not got anything planned, just chilling in and watching a film or something. Like... Oh yeah, I invite the others as well, by the way. The others? What? All of them? Yeah. Fuck's sake. Does that mean the one that wears the cone on his head's going to be it? He was the first one I asked. Where are you going? To get a drink. Well, that's more like it. Oh, very mature. Well, I guess one drink couldn't hurt.
Then cut.